What is the most asshole-ish thing you have ever done in a multiplayer video game? In WoW I'd flag my priest for PvP and make her sit down with an AFK tag on. People naturally would try to get a free kill on me. I'd have about 5 rogue friends standing nearby while stealthed who would obliterate anyone who tried. Good times. So many people fell for it. At least you weren't the one ganking low level newbies. It's the one thing I can't stand in WoW. I trapped some little kid in the corner with a riot shield because he was yelling and being annoying. We sat there for the remainder of the 8-minute TDM game. He started crying. I still don't know why he didn't just back out of the game. Or hold a grenade if he had one. I am usually a decent person, but once playing BF3MP hardcore someone TK'd me for the chopper. I respawned as Assault and found him a couple of minutes later, then revived him about 20 times. That frick deserved it. The other day I was playing CSGO, both teams were like, no one kill anyone and would kick anyone who did. They were trying to line up in a row to sniper shot through like 8 PPLS heads at once. I stood there, watching them all line up. Then just when the sniper was in position, I mowed down everyone with an AK. I got yelled at and kicked, but it was totally worth it. They probably never recovered from that. Those teamwork moments are rare. Oh, I have a good story for this. My friends and I were playing Call of Duty 4 back in the day. The game mode was hardcore search and destroy. This was a 6v6 GAM type, but as COD players very well know, every once in a while the matchmaking will screw up and make it a 5v7. We were on the team with 5. At this time, the only way to get kill streaks was to get all of your kills in one round or your kill counter would reset by the next round. A UAV was 3 kills, an airstrike was 5 kills, and a chopper was 7 kills. So theoretically, the only way to get the chopper was to get all 7 kills in a 5v7 round. Well, we get to round 3 or so and my friend just starts destroying the other team. I'm right next to him and he's gotten 6 out of 7 of the players on the other team, meaning he is only 1 kill away from his chopper. He runs around and finds the last player with his upper body showing through a window. He shoots him down, only for the enemy player to go into last stand. For those of you who are not familiar, last stand was essentially getting shot to the point where you would normally die and then being able to spin around on your butt shooting a pistol for 20 seconds or so and then you would die. My friend is pumped. He only has to wait for him to die and he's secured his chopper, which is a super rare featuring in a normally 6v6 GAM type. Well, an interesting fact about hardcore GAM types, you can kill your teammates. Being the nice guy that I am, I shot my friend. I couldn't resist. I don't think he's ever quite forgiven me for that one. TLDR. Killed my friend right before he got 7 kills in a row to get the chopper in a normally 6v6 GAM type. You are literally worse than Hitler. GTA V Online. Go retrieve the Simeon wanted car. Race to a spray shop while being chased by other players. Once in the spray shop, they would surround the exit, where I would immediately die. So, I would rig the car with an ignition bomb, which would not alter its status on the map. I come out of the shop. They kill me. Player gets in the car and boom. Proximity mine next to the Simeon wanted vehicle. Block the entrance to Simeon's warehouse. Usually with a helicopter, but a car works. Kill the guy when he gets to the warehouse. Move the car. Take the wanted car in for the score. Find player vehicles left outside of stores ammunition, and set proximity mines to blow them up when they exit. In RuneScape, luring new players out to the wild to show them my treasure and then killing them. Good god, that would sound creepy out of context. No, it's plenty creepy right now. In Battlefield 2, the attack choppers have 2 seats, pilot and gunner. The gunner's seat is in the front of the chopper so she has the best view. This will become important. A buddy and I were just about unstoppable in the chopper. He would gun, I would pilot. He could make magical things happen with the tow missile. It's pretty common for established pilot-gunner teams to camp the pad when they know the chopper is about to become available. If there is more than one team, people were generally considerate and would switch off. That is, until some little crap fricks with a program. There were plenty of people in BF that couldn't fly for a dang but thought the gun turret on the nose was God's gift to a good KD ratio. Side note, the turret is good but the tow missile is where the real magic happens. These little shoots would camp the pad the entire game in order to always be in the gunner seat. When my friend and I ran into these people, we tried to gracious about it. I would take them up and my buddy would go do his thing. After we died or a few rounds of repair, I would ask them to hop out so I could fly with my guy because we had voice comms. Most would be cool about it and bail or ask to be dropped off by a tank or something. Until one night, this kid, I assume it was a kid, was the shittiest of all the shoots. He was always in the gunner's seat wanting someone to pilot for him. Several chopper teams just gave up dealing with the little butt. I took him up a few times hoping to placate and dismiss. Nope. Oh, and he sucked. Just awful. I mean, fellow BF2 players will know that you have to be a special kind of suck to have a negative KD ratio while gunning. I asked nicely repeatedly. I tried reasoning. I tried bargaining. Shittiest crap would not budge. Fine. Normally, there's nothing you can do to force a player out of a seat. However, if you are a steady enough pilot, you can use the game to do it for you. If you go to the edge of the map, a countdown timer will start. If you don't go back in bounds in time, you die. Because the gunner sits in front of the pilot in a chopper, a pilot can stick the nose just inside this zone and get the gunner killed. What makes this particularly douchy is that the kill zone is expanded for flying vehicles. If they bail, they are trapped deep in the kill zone and usually have no chance at making it back. Crap, learned this the hard way, a few times. In Halo 3, I convinced an annoying kid in the game that I was a psychologist and that he was displaying classic signs of homosexuality. I got him truly believing that he was gay. TBH, if you can convince someone that they don't know their own sexuality, you're probably right. So I was playing Halo 3. It was basically a slaughter. The other team was obviously a clan, and totally rolled my pub team to the point where everyone but me and another guy rage quit on my team. Well, then a funny thing happened. Me and this other dude are now 2 versus 6, and we just start dominating this other team, such so that we close the gap to within 10-15 kills with about 2 minutes to go, and suddenly my teammate drops 2. So now it's a 2-minute drill. I'm 1 versus 6, and 10 kills behind. I just happened to pick up the rocket spawn, and literally did a squad wipe because they started freaking around trying to make a victory pyramid. Over the next 60 seconds, I am a Spartan god, just wrecking their crap. For no discernible reason other than they seem to have no strategy for beating a single Berserking player. I die once, but I managed to get 1 kill ahead of them, and pick up the rocket spawn again, then rocket jump to a high ledge that they couldn't see onto and just hid. Cue 60 seconds of the most frantic manhunt ever. They finally found me with about 5 seconds left, and there were about 3 grenades in midair coming towards me when the game ended. By all accounts they should have won. I should have kept fighting to let them have a shot at reclaiming the lead. Frick em. I took a knee in the last minute and stole sweet victory right from under their noses, and my rank went through the roof after that. In the F2P hunting game, the hunter, me and my friend would go onto paid maps without even having tags for the animals there. We'd proceed to follow paying players around making a crap ton of noise, shooting our guns and ruining their hunts. It was pretty fun. Dang, that is evil. Way back in the ancient days of online gaming, late 90s, I was obsessed with worms, Armageddon. I was dang good at it, but partly because I was a very talented Darksider. I'm playing a best of 3 against another high-ranked guy on WormNet. He wins game 1. In game 2, I got screwed by random placement and quickly wound up down to 1 worm against my opponent's 4. Cue blowtorches, girders, and teleports. I'd sneak out to snipe when possible, skip go when not. After about 30 minutes, I get it down to 1-on-1. But he has the high ground and I'm out of useful places to go since the terrain has been all eaten up and the water is rising. I place my worm directly below his and kamikaze straight up, killing us both and drawing the round. He swore at me for a couple minutes before rage quitting the match. I don't think I stopped laughing for the rest of the night. That is still one of the best games to play with friends. The weapons are ridiculous. I sent a hate message because I was playing against a legitimate hacker. I accidentally sent it to the young kid at the bottom of their team and I ended up making him cry before I realized my mistake. You bastard. I used to always get my friends banned from CSGO matches because I would jump in front of them while they were shooting. Or jump in their Molotov fire. Used to play Star Wars Galaxies as a bounty hunter. I would take bounties against Jedi, other players, and get their health to the point I could death blow. I would then send them a tell asking for 10 million credits or I would kill them. If a Jedi died like this it would take off some of their skill points, setting them back weeks if not months of gameplay time. Quite often I would kill them even if they gave me the money. Killing them anyway is pretty terrible for you and them. Eventually they'll wise up and just accept their fates without paying you. Forza 2, Seattle track. I had just got the game and I didn't know it too well. I jumped in a multiplayer game and the track was Seattle. If you don't remember or know, the track starts nice and straight, then there is a U-turn type corner at the end of the straight stretch. I was in some random supercar going full throttle and the corner came up. I hit the brakes but it was too late. Too bad for the guy in front of me too. I slammed into him hard. It wouldn't have been too bad except we had full damage on. This meant that the cars took a lot of damage. What made it worse is that my mic wasn't muted like I thought it was and just laughed for a good minute. There wasn't much I could do. It was a little dickish to laugh like that even if it wasn't on purpose. I've got something similar. Forza 3 online on Laguna Seca. I am in the second row of cars. We go, and I clip the corner of the guy in front, who spins and causes a huge pile up, which pee everyone off, who all then left. A French guy sent me a message later which when translated said "frick your race." In the original Counter-Strike I would flash my whole team from behind whenever we hit a bottleneck in the map and watch them get mowed down. I'd argue tooth and nail that it wasn't me. Then the next round I'd change my name to Team Flasher and do it again, then argue that it still wasn't me. Too bad it wasn't in Source, cause flashes are OP as frickin' Source. Old Half-Life mod called Day of Defeat, circa 2003. I used to lead a clan and we ran our own server. We had admin mod on there which allowed us to execute limited commands on players' machines. Occasionally we'd get players acting like absolute tools, spawn camping, typing abusive crap in global chat, and so on. Admin exa client, name, bind mouse 1 say bang. It was hilarious watching these buttholes run around. Pause to line up a shot, then seeing bang, bang, bang appear in the chat box. I spent so many hours on that game, and had a clan and helped run a server. Charlie is the best map ever. In EVE there is a nearby high-sec system with a local corp that extorts miners to mine the ice belt or they bump them until they leave. For some reason this corp announces in local when a player pays them. I have a hangar full of gank cats in a station in that system. If I see someone pay I pop their ship. I am a fairly new player to EVE, and the amount of trolling in high-sec puts me off the game fairly hard. I get that it is allowed within the rules and hence not trolling. The 6 months I bought when I started are about up, and I am not sure if I am going to resubscribe. I know this really cool spot on the map that drops free runite, leads to wilderness, murders, takes stuff, logs out. In Smash 4, when I'm playing someone really bad, I go out of my way to only use falcons down air, stomp them until they're like 150% and they finally die. Piggybacking off your Smash comment, the last tournament I went to with doubles I lost my last life with my partner having 2 remaining. I waited until right before he died to steal his life. My buddy and I used to play Counter-Strike together when we were in middle school. I played way more than he did. For some reason I had his login info. Since I was a curious kid, I downloaded some hacks from God knows where, fired his account up and was banned within an hour. He still doesn't know why his Steam account stopped working. This is the worst you win. Playing Black Ops 2 Zombies Survival Mode, it'd throw flashbang grenades at the gun box right as a teammate was getting a gun. That or throwing one at the pack-a-punch machine so they lose their gun and 5,000 points. One time I was playing a DayZ clone and teamed with someone else who was new. I showed them how to play and then as soon as I was done, I kicked him from the group. killed him and took his stuff. I bet that taught him a lot, though. Me and my friends were creating tree houses in a forest we found in Minecraft. They took my diamonds, so I burnt down the whole forest. This just reminded me, I was playing Minecraft with a friend. She ran into my house and stole my stuff while yelling, pillaging, and broke through the wall to get out. I was really mad, so I set her house on fire. But then I felt bad, so I covered it in water. She wouldn't forgive me and moved to the nether with a scarecrow with cake for a head. Good times. Ark. Survival evolved. Think Rust or DayZ but not complete crap. And a shitload of dinosaurs instead of zombies. People build up, and it takes a long time to get anywhere and a lot of work. So I had an island in the game pretty much to myself. I didn't really leave unless I took my pack pterodons to a mountain on the mainland to mine for metal. Well, some guy runs up to me acting like he owns the mountain, telling me to leave. I do, but only because my packs are full. I go for another run when I come across a Shat and his buddy who kill my pterodons. It's on now. I go to my fabricator and smithy and start producing explosives. A lot of explosives. And I let these guys know heck is coming. They prepare and make defense and get ready for heck. Unfortunately for them, crafting takes a while and a lot of supplies. I keep cranking out explosives. Time ticks on. Then I get my dinosaurs together and cross the strait to the mainland. 9 Brontosaurus, 14 Trikes, Triceratops, 7 Stegosaurus. I hand out my explosives to my clan mates. Apparently a Shat didn't think I was serious, so went to sleep. I find his clan's base, a sprawling fortification on a hilltop with a lot of different buildings and storage areas. I put my dinos on aggressive and start going to town. A buddy brought his Trex and was doing the same. Anything the dinos couldn't destroy, the grenades did. Then we found his other base, wrecked it. Then a much smaller one, wrecked it. On that mountain I was mining we find a small base made of metal with their fabricator in it. Gone. They lost everything overnight. Countless hours of collecting and crafting. All gone. All their pet dinosaurs are dead. All their supplies are gone. They have no home. These guys had even built a public crafting station for newbies with a little sign saying enjoy. I destroyed that too. Then I rebuilt it exactly the same way, piece by piece. I put up a new sign showing who was providing this station and that a Shat clan can frick off. Nobody fricked with my crap after that. Island Hermit don't frick around. I've been watching this game. Very cool. And I like her style. In a racing game, Asphalt 8, reversed at the start of the race so no one could get in front of me. Then they all smashed into my car and were wrecked. I was driving this massive truck, so made plenty of games of Dota to last anywhere from half an hour to an hour longer than they should have by playing techies. PLS no. I always go into my games and try not to be a dong. The only game that got to me was Days. Early days of the mod. I came across a dude bleeding. I helped him, gave him food and water and some ammo for his gun. He needed blood though. I ran around for an hour to find him a blood bag. Eventually found it and brought him back to full health. He then immediately shot me, followed by an incredibly menacing punk kid brat teenager laugh. I was so freaking annoyed. After that I immediately stocked up, ran into 2 guys who were being nice. He asked if I wanted to go for a ride in his car once he'd fixed it with the part he'd found. I went along. As soon as we got to his car and fixed it, I shot both of them in the head, packed all their supplies, there were heaps, into the car and drove off with an incredibly menacing punk brat 30-something laugh. That freaking game corrupted me. Madden Online. I threw a pick 6 on my first offensive play of the game. For the rest of the game I would run into my own end zone and gave up a safety. Then when he was on offense I would intentionally let him score. The final score was something like 180-0. I quit with 4 seconds left in the game. I passive aggressively wasted an hour of his life. You passive aggressively wasted an hour of your own life too. I play WoW. Usually I lead the healers. If someone annoys me I make sure no one heals them and they die repeatedly. Managed to get a few people thrown out of raids for being useless doing this. Evolve. If too many complained I wasn't good at my role on the team, I'd derp out or run circles or hide to screw the team. I'm there to grind stats. I don't care about your KD ratio, numbnuts. My favorite isn't even mine, but a friend's. He was into Sims Online when we were around middle school aged. He said he had befriended a woman online who had somehow owned her very own gym in the game space. I don't know how that stuff worked. I never played. After a while, she liked him enough to entrust him with shared ownership of the gym. One day my friend finds out about some super rare cat that you can get from some kind of purchase, but it would be random and the drop rate was incredibly low. He had to have it, so he literally spends all his money trying to get this cat. Once he used all of his, he decided he was going to start selling all the equipment in the gym that wasn't exactly his to begin with, to get money to buy a chance at getting this cat. He winds up selling all of the equipment in the gym, plus the gym itself, to get money for it. He wound up never getting it. Obviously, the woman never knew about it, and when she logged on to find no gym left, she started reaming out my friend again. He is probably like 13 or 14 at the time. His response? Log off the game and never return. Till this day, he never logged back onto that game, and I still think it's one of the funniest trolls I've ever heard of in gaming. COD flare spawning. One in particular was priceless. Just waited with a shotgun until he popped up. Point blank. POW. Right in the kisser. My boyfriend and his friends all play TF2. When I first started playing with them, someone random challenged me to a duel. I managed to kill him in the first round. BF and his friends all told me it would be funny if I hung out in the spawn room until the third round was over. So I did. Then when it announced me as the winner, I changed my name to Duel Champ and declined all the random players' further challenges. On Halo 3, some maps had cliffs that would kill you if you jumped off. I would get in a warthog, find a teammate to be my passenger, then with good timing I'd drive the warthog at the cliff and jump out, sending my teammate to their death. I found that more entertaining than I should have. In Killzone 3 there was this one map online, where in the middle there was this pathway with a crusher either side. There was a button you could press to bring them together, and I would sometimes spend entire games waiting for people to pass through, enemy or friendly, and when they did, boop, thunk, dead, rinse and repeat. In RuneScape there is a creature you can catch with the hunter skill called Chinchompus. I was at a location hunting for 20 minutes or so and some guys comes to try and take my spot, claiming he was there first and was only gone for a minute. He refused to hop worlds, so I spent 10 minutes to go to my bank and get my range gear. I proceeded to one-shot all the Chinchompus before he could capture them. Did this until he left. I used to play this Sony Station Pass game called EOL. I was one of the better players and would be invited to what's called a bounty group. Basically it's a group of players that run around with weapons that reduce a player's defense, with one player that actually gets the kills. The more consecutive kills you get, the higher your bounty gets. The higher the bounty, the more of a reward you and your team gets per kill. I would PM people in my clan the bounty player's coordinates once he caps so my clan members could hunt the bounty player. When they would tell me they were close, I'd run off the opposite direction spamming my weapon so others would follow thinking I saw someone. My clan would then come in from behind and take the bounty. No one ever caught on. I got a 2-week ban in EVE Online for making someone extol my virtues on the forums as terms of a ransom. Also stole about 50B from a wormhole corp, including destroying their capitals that I couldn't move out. Me and a buddy used to play Halo Reach zombie mode, and every time it was down to one of us as the last humans, we would jump off a cliff to prevent any other players the joy of killing us. Savages. Took up a perfectly good position with my incompetence in Halo. I actually got lost in the map one round and never even saw another player. My friend and I were at an arcade, remember those, and wanted to play Cyberball, American football with robots against the computer. We asked the guy playing on the other side to decline the challenge, but he accepted. So began his descent into heck. First, we would take the maximum amount of time on every play selection. Then, we wouldn't even try. We would just let him score without even trying to tackle him. Even so, he was awful at running and passing, and he would get tackled by the computer guys, so he couldn't even score without a defense. Finally, my buddy discovers a seldom used feature, timeouts. So now we let the clock run all the way down and then call timeout. And then we let the clock run all the way down again. At this point, it's about a full 40 seconds between plays. Guy was raging. Just hurry up and play. Finally, at the half, it's 35-0. We asked him if he had fun beating people that weren't even trying. And he cursed us and yelled at us. And then he made the mistake of saying, "You guys couldn't have beaten me anyway. That's why you didn't try." My friend and I looked at each other and we instantly knew exactly what the other was thinking. Just to make it clear to the other guy, I said out loud, "So, do you want to start trying now yet?" We both instantly knew the strategy. Send both defenders into the backfield before he can blink and blow up his quarterback. And then the second. And then the third. The fourth stringer is terrible. Then we started on his running backs. On offense, we started scoring almost at will. The game's not very long, but we managed to score 42 in the second half for a final of 42-35. Just as the game was wrapping up, his mom came. "Are you having fun playing against these guys?" Sheepishly. Yeah, we made sure to report to mom every curse that he had uttered to us. She told him that that was no way to act towards strangers and told him she was taking away his Nintendo for a week. So, yeah, I guess in retrospect, it was more fun to play against a person. In WoW, a hunter was farming for a rare pet. He told me was camping for a whole week and did nothing but that. I already had that pet and told him I would help him find it. 3 hours later, he found it and called me over. I logged on my Horde Hunter, found him, killed him, got the pet for myself. You are a bad person. I'm not even joking. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.